So we work with a lot of lesser things. Okay. So we have a 73-year-old male who is diabetic, hypertensive, dyslipidemia, mild CKD, stage 3, and creatinine was around 1.6, GFR was about 50, and fairly active physically and presented with the non-STEMI, EF of around 50%, and this is the anatomy. So if we see here, there is a very tight left main, and LAD is involved in the proximal segment, the circumflex is involved, and the circumflex is a dominant circulation. So let's take another view. So which shows that it is not only tight, but that shows a nasty ulceration into the left main, and the angle is also quite odd. The LAD is rising almost like vertically, and there is a here there is a tight lesion, and then there is a big circumflex. So we are intervening somewhere, almost like 80 to 85% of the myocardium at risk, and now we are intervening. But as I said initially, we don't have the impella, and we don't have the other imaging also as of now. Now we are trying to procure one. So issue was because of the age and a lot of comorbidities. He was like surgically turned down by both the family as well as the, okay, how does this play? Okay, so this is a eleocranial view. Again, just confirming that it is a very tight left main and the proximal LAD still has a disease. So syntax score was also quite high. It was 36. Syntax 2 was also 37.5. So in all, there was equipoise after syntax 2, but the surgeon as well as the family was like keen that they don't want it. So here we are with the 7 French guide, because I know that that left main was very tight. So moment I'm going to engage it, we can see that there is almost like a, contrast is hanging, significant ECG changes. So what I did was quickly, keep the wire ready, and the moment we are in, quickly form the knuckle and push it in the front. Yeah, that's the way, whichever vessel it goes. But the forming that knuckle is very important, because that gives peace of mind, and then quickly disengage the guide. Once that knuckle is in place, we have a lot of time to, touch and go or hit and run type of things. And then this is wire went straightway into the circumflex, because that was in line, and then trying to get the LAD more hydrophilic and things. So as you notice, there is moment my guide touches, there is a lot of contrast hanging, though I was trying to minimize the contrast. Anyway, he was having a renal failure. So after securing the LAD, same this knuckle, so that it gives me some advantage. Now both the vessels are secured. So first dilated NC balloon to the circumflex, to the LAD, and then again the mini crush. So this was 3.5 by 34, and this was 3.5 by 38 into the LAD. Why I chose mini crush was probably the time is less. Everything was getting very, engaged. Then 2, the contrast limitation, so I don't want it to prolong by doing any other, like maybe a decay crush or a kilot. So I thought mini crush is a good for me in this case. So first the circumflex, then the LAD stent, confirming that I am covering the LMCA ostium well into the left main in eleocranial view. Then comes the good pot of 5, because both were 3.5 by 3.5. So most of the time, maybe how much that Finet's law applies to the left main, but the centers like us where there is no IVUS, we go by that. So 3.5, 3.5, that will come to around 5. So 5 at a good pressure, dilating the carina, then pulling it back, and then giving a more higher pressure, so that, flaring of that LMC ostium, and then I intubated the guide into the left main. Subsequently, once the good pot and there is a good intubation, the cross is easy. Trying for the middle cross deliberately, and then I could go through the proximal to mid cross, because this is still a mini crush technique. So with whatever visible, I tried my best, and then 1.5 and then 2.5, and this is the sequential dilatation of 3.5 balloons into the 3.5 by 12, 3.5 by 15. So alternate high pressure into the LAD, then to the LCX, and the nominal pressures at both the vessels, and then the final pot at the good, avoiding the carina, only the proximal portion. So this is the final result. So LAD and LCX is reasonably flowing well. Left main diameters have improved, TME3 flow, and all throughout I could manage this knuckle to be there, so that was helping me a lot. So my key learning from the case is planning the whole case is important, especially when you are constricted from all the sides, from the contrast to the dominant circulation, and the imaging is not available. So a sequential planning in mind is very important as to what exactly I'm going to do. Then when the left main is damping, we need to be extremely careful about the wiring, and the knuckle is important. Can opt for the less traumatic guide, some people say like JL or something, but it comes at a lot of cost of less support, complicating the procedure, and even at times to gain the support we try to push it inside, and that really disturb the stent struts. So in spite of a short left main, tight left main, I opted for EBU, and that were my reasons. And mini crush is still a good technique, especially in such kind of cases where you need a speed as well as the lesser contrast because of the less steps involved. A good detailed pot in all bifurcations is must. Proximal cross in crush is important, so we should try to do as much as possible. And then routine procedure like sequential high pressure balloon, then at a nominal to preserve the carinal architecture, and final pot, okay, I think that's a controversial. I do it because I do a lot of theoretical reading about bench testings and all. So I do final pot, but I know it's not compulsory. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk at the last moment.